Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a pretty amazing story, adapted from the book Fish in a Tree, that uncovers a surprising link between some of the most brilliant people in history. So let me ask you this. What connects a genius, an artist, and a mouse? I know it sounds like the beginning of a bad joke, right? But just keep that question in the back of your mind because we're going to find out the answer. All right, let's set the scene. Our story happens in a classroom. The teacher, Mr. Daniels, is about to kick off a lesson that's going to completely change how his students, and maybe even you, see the world. So he pulls out these pictures of famous people and says, okay, I'll say the name, you tell me why they're famous. But then he adds, no need to raise your hands, just call out. I mean, can you imagine? He's breaking the #1 teacher rule, and the whole class is just buzzing with excitement. He points to the first picture. A student named Allie kind of shyly asks, he invented the light bulb? And Mr. Daniels is like, yes, declare your answer. He really wants her to own it. Next up, Alexander Graham Bell. And almost immediately, another kid shouts out that he invented the telephone. Easy enough. And then we have Henry Ford. The class knows he's all about cars, right? But Mr. Daniels clarifies, Ford didn't actually invent the car, but he perfected the moving assembly line, which was a genius way to build tons of them super fast. And then, the big one, Albert Einstein. One of the students, whose name is actually Albert, explains that this guy is considered maybe the greatest human mind to ever live. A scientist who literally changed how we understand the entire universe. And the list just keeps on rolling. You've got Leonardo da Vinci, who painted the Mona Lisa, John Lennon, the incredible musician, and of course, Walt Disney. It's just an unbelievable lineup of talent. But right when the students are totally in awe, Mr. Daniels just flips the script. He asks if anyone would dare call these people stupid. And of course, no one would. Everyone's shaking their heads. And that's when the story takes a really fascinating turn. This is where it gets kind of jarring. Mr. Daniels reveals that Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people in history, was actually kicked out of school. And get this, he struggled just to memorize the months of the year. And Walt Disney, a teacher once told him he wasn't creative enough. Suddenly, none of this seems to add up. So, Mr. Daniels just lets that hang in the air for a minute. All of these super successful people had these strange, unexpected struggles. So, what was the common thread? What's the connection here? And this is where it all comes together. Mr. Daniels looks right at Allie, the student who was a little nervous at the beginning of the lesson, and he reveals the hidden link that ties all these geniuses together. He asks the whole class, you know what all of these people have in common? The answer, he tells them that many people believe they all had dyslexia. It's a learning difficulty that affects reading, writing, and spelling, and it often meant they had a really hard time with even simple words when they were kids. But, and this is so important, Mr. Daniels doesn't just stop at calling it a difficulty. He gives his students a much more powerful, a much more positive way to think about it. He explains that their struggles were never a sign of them being stupid. Not at all. He says it's just that their minds worked differently. And thank goodness they did. That one sentence just changes everything. It's not a weakness. It's a difference we should actually be grateful for. I mean, just think about it for a second. Without those minds that worked differently, we might not have telephones or light bulbs. We could have missed out on some of the most stunning art in history, or even Mickey Mouse. Our world would be a lot less interesting, that's for sure. So you see, this lesson isn't just about famous people or inventions. It's about empathy, and it's about perseverance. And Mr. Daniels has one last little exercise to really bring that point home. He puts this jumbled message up on the board for homework. He tells them it's a code. It isn't exactly like reading with dyslexia, but it will give you a taste of how hard it is and how smart you have to be to persevere. After class, he has this quiet moment with Allie, who we know has been struggling with reading herself. He tells her he's noticed how hard she works, and he gives her a gift, a small oval paperweight. And this is the message that's engraved on it. But he's not giving it to her because he thinks she needs the reminder. He's giving it to her because he wants her to know that he sees her effort, he sees her perseverance, and he knows she's going to be more than just okay. And that really is the big idea here. This whole story leaves us with a really crucial question to think about. How often do we mistake a different way of thinking for a lack of ability?